네, 오늘은 비하인드 씬에 대해서 비하인드 씬이죠. 무대 뒤쪽에서 벌어지는 것들에 대해 궁금한 것을 질의응답하는 시간이 있습니다. 이거 역시 풀 버전을 제 다음 영상에 올리도록 하겠습니다. 누가 들어오는지 한번 볼까요? 공연진이 될 것 같은데.
And then later on, after I give you all the information that you need, we're going to get some members of the production team and the production cast answering more questions that you might have. So first of all, me as the cruise director, I am in charge of the organizing the lineup of entertainment. It is a tough job, but I have some very talented people working along with me. We have a Joey, our assistant cruise director. So I'm going to give you information about the ship because it changes from ship to ship, right? So on this ship, me as the cruise director, I have your assistant cruise director, which is Joey, then also the production manager in charge of everything that goes in the theater, which is Joe. Then also have an entertainment admin, her name is Sheena. She's in charge of all the paperwork and putting together the freestyle daily. We have the bandmaster, which I'm sure you've met, John Milligan. And then we have some weekly meetings where we discuss what we're gonna do the next cruise. So actually we did that yesterday. The next cruise, it's a 12-day cruise. We meet for about an hour and then we come up with a lineup. All right? So that is a lot of fun, and of course, as we go, especially on long cruises, we can add things, we can move things around, and then on the first couple of days of the cruise, we see what kind of guests we have. If they like parties, they like music, they like dancing, and then we can add up all that stuff. Now, a lot of people always ask me, how did I become a cruise director? Actually, I've been on entertainment for almost half of my life. I was thinking about this earlier. I started when I was 18, I moved from Mexico City to a place called Cancun. Started working in all-inclusive resorts. I worked there for about 3 years, and then in Cancun, they opened a recruitment agency for cruise ships. So I went over there, did an interview, and then they gave me an interview first with another company, not NCL, another company. I'm gonna tell you the name, but it rhymes with Oil Caribbean. And so I was there with him for 8 years. I started as a crew staff, like my good friend Janice, and then I worked my way up the ranks. It's all about learning and being in the right place at the right time. So then I became a position called activities manager, which is the equivalent to assistant cruise director. And then they gave me the chance to become a cruise director. So I was 8 years over there. The last 3 years I was cruise director. Then I decided to go on work. I wanted a little break from ships. So another company hired me to work in the corporate office in Miami. The name of the other company, once again, I cannot tell you which one it is, but it rhymes with Arnival. I was there for a month, and it was not my thing. And then NCL gave me the chance to come over here directly as a cruise director. I started on 2019, right before the pandemic. I did one contract on the Norwegian Jade. I got stuck on the ship for about 2.5 months when the pandemic started. Then I went home, had a long vacation, about 18 months, and then I started again on the Norwegian Epic. Have you been on that ship? A few of you, I was on the Epic for about 7 months, then went home, and then after that I did the Joy, then I did the Spirit, then I went to the Prima, and then I am back on the Spirit, and I absolutely love NCL. They take really good care of us.
아마도 제리를 제이드에서 만났던 것 같습니다.
And they have some amazing shows, some amazing events, and the company has been really, really good to me. So I'm planning on being here a little bit longer, and hopefully one day probably move to Miami and go over there. So ladies, I'm looking for a green card if anybody's interested. But yeah, and so that's what I do. That's how I got to cruise director, and it's a really fun job. As I told you, it's very time consuming, energy demanding, but it's very, very rewarding. When I see you guys walking around, having fun, joining our activities, or when you tell us like, oh, actually, the entertainment is great. When I'm standing outside the theater and you tell us, wow, that show was amazing, that makes it all worth it. Now, also a big part of the entertainment, of course, as I was telling you, is the lineup. You know that on long cruises we get guest entertainers. So this week we had James Bostar. You met him, the juggler. Yeah, so you met James. Also, you met Mikey. Remember Mikey? Mikey Botano. And of course, Catherine. So we call them guest entertainers. They are not permanent on the ship. They get called, they go do 1 cruise, 2 cruises, and then maybe they go to another gig, maybe on land, maybe on another ship. And then on this ship, on the Spirit, we have our production cast. They stay here for about 7 months, depending on their contract, and they'll give you more information on that in just a couple of minutes. And on this ship, since we have a show called Elements that you will see tomorrow night, it's really cool because we have some resident aerialists. Remember the aerialists that you met the other night? They stay with us for also like 6 or 7 months, and also the illusionists. So that means that on this ship we have our production shows, pre-production shows, our Broadway cabaret that some of you saw it last night. Did you go to that one last night? It's so good, isn't it? And then also we get the magic show and we get the aerial show. Elements, I believe it's on 4 ships, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Yes, so those 4 ships, they have that group, and then we switch around. Actually, the aerialists leave in a couple of weeks. We get another couple of aerialists that I've already worked with. And then Javi Cruz and Anaí, they leave, and then we get another illusionist. So that's one of the good things about having Elements, that you will be getting the aerialists and the magicians. Now,
엘리멘츠는 정말
how do the cast
많이
members
봤습니다.
learn the shows? Do they just come in,
노르웨이전
or
타면서.
they come one by one? So the way it works, they go to Tampa, they learn the show. So within 6 weeks, it is crazy. Within 6 weeks, they learn those 3 shows and the Broadway cabaret. They learn it on a flat stage with no costumes. Well, I mean, they're wearing something. They're not wearing the costumes, alright?
보통 노르웨이전에서는 요거를 이렇게 모든 승객들한테 오픈하지 않고 따로 불러서 진행합니다. 등급이 되는 손님들을 보통 제가 알기로 다이아몬드 등급 이상을 불러서 하는 걸로 알고 있습니다. 운 좋게 교민분이 봤다고 저보고 양보해 주셔서 가서 보라고 그래서 볼 수 있었어요.
Dancers or singers, anybody in entertainment? No, nobody. Anyway, so the dancers and the singers, when they're kids, they start training. They go to school in the morning, then they need to go to dance class, then on the weekends they go to competitions. And that's their life as kids. I don't know if you watch Dance Moms. Have you watched it? Sometimes those dance moms and the dance teachers, they're very strict, they're very rough sometimes, so the discipline that they have and the character that they have is very, very, I admire it a lot. And also when it comes to the dancers, they work their whole lives, they train their whole lives, and then their career, like the length of their career sometimes is not as long, because I would say sometimes 34, 33 years old, that's when their bodies, they've taken some serious, I mean, you know what I mean, right? So I really, really admire what they do. And also the singers sometimes their careers are a little bit longer than the dancers. So something like a sprained ankle could actually be a career ender, and they work their whole lives for that. So I really, really admire what they do. Now that's the people that you get to see in front of the house, the people that you get to see on stage. Well, there's other people that are equally as important. They're extremely talented as well. That's why I call the black shirts. That's the production team. That is the production manager. Actually, Joe is over there. You'll meet her in a few minutes. So the production manager, the stage technicians, the wardrobe supervisor, which you also meet. On some ships, we have a props master, we have the light technician, the sound technician,
정말 많은
and
사람들이
of course our lounge techs.
적혀 있네요.
And without them, like doesn't matter if you have the best talent over there on stage. If you don't have the people working behind them, there's nothing we can do. Sometimes if they're, let's say a dancer is sick, a singer is sick, we can cover those tracks. They do a reblock, but when we don't have a production manager or a light technician, there's nobody that can call the show, there's nobody that, I don't know how to use those computers that they have. So it is a big deal. So those guys that they don't really, sometimes don't get the recognition that they deserve, they're absolutely needed. The broadcast team as well. So I call them the backbone of the entertainment operation, because without them, we cannot do anything. So if you see them walking around, just tell them, well done, good job, because they truly, truly deserve it. I always try to recognize them, because sometimes they don't get that recognition that they deserve. Now, what else? Musicians, also we get musicians. I do not hire the musicians. The company over there in Miami, they do all of the hiring. So what they do, they see where the ship is going to go, what the demographics are. So the guests coming, the age group, and then they send us the acts or the bands that would fit the best for those nationalities and those age groups. And then on board they stay for about 6 months, 7 months. Most of them, they come together as a band and then they live together. Sometimes they go back home, sometimes they go to a different ship. As an example, when it comes to contracts, as I told you, the dancers and the singers, they do contracts around 7 months or 6 months plus the 6 weeks in Tampa. That's where the creative studios are. Jans, you do 7 months? 6 months on, 2 months off. Me, I do 4 months on, 2 months off. That's not a perfect world scenario. Sometimes it changes, sometimes you get transferred to a different ship. Joe, the production manager, she goes to Tampa to the creative studios for the install process, and then they come together, and also you live together, right?
No,
No? You stay here?
I'm 8 months.
She is 8 months. You see, she's so important. We need to keep her 8 months over here. And when she goes to the studio, she learns the shows with them. But also, she's the official driver of the cast. She gets one of those big white vans, and then she does the runs to Publix, where shopping is a pleasure, or maybe to Walmart, to Target, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. We become a family. We work together. We play together. It is a lot of fun. Any questions so far? Oh, yes.
Do you, as a corporation, NCL with Oceania and region,
Yeah.
do you pool your entertainment resources between the 3 lines?
Yes and no. So there's the boss of my boss in the head office. His name is Peter Grant. He's in charge of. He's the senior president of entertainment for the 3 companies. But when it comes to us, the cruise staff, the cruise directors, each company has their own. However, when it comes to the dancers or the singers, they can go and work for the others. Did you guys, any of you work for Regent? Over there, Simone, our wardrobe supervisor, she worked for them. Sometimes I've seen dancers that they go from one company to the other, singers the same. When it comes to cruise directors and cruise staff, it is different. Bands, sometimes it does happen because it's the same person that hires them, but they try to keep their own team on the brand that they started in. Now, before we go with more questions, I believe it's only fair that you get to meet the team that works with me. Are you ready?
Yeah.
You've seen them in the show. Some of them actually haven't seen it because they work behind the scenes. So I'm going to start with the ladies. Let's start with Madison, ladies and gentlemen, from the United States. One of our dancers. We have Madison, and she is thirsty.
Dancer, the dancer.
Over there? Excellent, excellent. Now the next one, we're going to keep on going with another dancer from Australia. We have Cooper. Hello, Cooper.
남자 댄서.
Now one of our singers from the United States, that is Jordan. He's amazing. He is amazing. And then 2 people that you don't get to see that often around the ship, they work behind the scenes and they do an amazing job. And as I told you, without their hard work, we wouldn't be able to have the quality of entertainment that we have on board. We have our wardrobe supervisor, Simone, from Toronto, Canada. Also very thirsty. And ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, our production manager from Jersey, that is Joe. Hello, Joe. Joe and I work together a lot because we put together the lineup, and she takes care of the cast and reblocks and a lot of stuff. Honestly, I wouldn't be able to do my job without her. So now they're over here. Before we go into questions and answers, guys, would you mind just telling us a little bit about yourselves? Where you started your career? How did your career start? What's one of the biggest achievements of your career? Are you dating someone on board? What's going on? All right. So Madison over there, you're gonna start. Tell us.
Okay. Hi, my name is Madison. I'm from the United States, originally from West Virginia, and now I live in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I started dancing since the age of 2, being a competitive dancer, and then I went to college at Point Park University and studied both dance and elementary education. And then I got auditioned for Norwegian Cruise Lines, and I started on the Norwegian Gem last year, and this is my second contract with them.
경력이 얼마 안 되네.
Thank you, Madison.
저보다 배를 덜 탔습니다.
Morning, my name's Cooper. I am from Australia, and I started dancing a little bit later on in my life. I started about when I was 15, and I'm currently 20. So I started doing full-time dancing for 3 years on the Gold Coast in Australia, and probably one of my biggest achievements in my career would be working on the Elvis movie with
What?
Baz Luhrmann. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, it was live. I enjoyed it.
That is
yeah, that's
awesome.
me.
And as you heard, Cooper is 20 years old, so do not buy him drinks, okay? Because otherwise he'll get fired.
Yeah, please don't.
Joe.
Cube menu only for Cooper. What's up, guys? My name is Joe. Backstage tour people. Anybody coming to the backstage tour? Thank you to my fans. I appreciate you all. I'm from New Jersey. Jersey representing. Jersey strong for the hurricanes that hit the Jersey Shore. Very sad time. Okay. So, I've done theater my whole life. I started stage managing when I was 12. Isn't that crazy? Now I'm 23 on the Norwegian Cruise Line. But what really started to get me into theater was my sister did stage crew in high school, so she was a senior and I was a 7th grader in middle school. So I thought, what's the best way to annoy my sister? I'm gonna do stage crew, and it's stuck with me ever since. That's my story.
Thank you for sharing that with us, Joe. Jordan, you're up next.
Hi guys.
저 친구 본 것 같은데.
I'm also from New
이제
Jersey. And I am a musical theater guy. I graduated from Wagner College in 2021. So I've been doing theater.
애들이 다 젊네.
And I always wanted to do a cruise contract. This is actually my first cruise contract that I've done. And I wanted to try it, and so far I'm having a great time. It's definitely been an adjustment, but it's been a
어쩐지 봤던 것 같더라고요.
and probably one of the biggest achievements that I've made. I don't know if it's necessarily in my theater career, but as a whole, I am an Eagle Scout, so that's yeah, that's me.
Thank you, Jordan. And last but not least, we have Simone, our wardrobe supervisor.
Hi, I've been with the company 8 years, and this is my 6th full contract. I used to do just install, which you'll hear us mention a few times, but I did that for about 1.5 years. Really loved cruising, and then did a full contract, and here I am. Interesting fact. I actually did not learn how to sew until university. So my very first class of university, I was in the sewing room, and all the other students, like, oh, my grandma taught me, or I knew this, and I did, and I'm like, I know nothing. And I sat in the corner, and my teacher came up to me, she's like, Simone, do you need some help? And I said, suck it up and say yes. And I said yes, and she sat me down at the industrial sewing machine, which is not a beginner machine, and I was hooked, and here we are.
Awesome, thank you.
그 친구는 뭐라고 하는지 하나도 못 알아듣겠네요.
Your biggest achievement of your career, or special moments?
Yeah, I would say my biggest achievement was probably getting my first cruise contract right out of college. It was one of my first things I wanted to do when I graduated, to travel the world, and it's what I love to do, so definitely not my favorite.
Very well said. Actually, I think that's something that all of our crew members wish there. When you get that letter, when you get that call saying like, yeah, you're hired, honestly, it's like feels so good. Then you get on the ship and you see the size of your room and you're like, all right, but anyway. All right, so now we're open for questions. We have a Jens over there from the cruise of team. He's gonna take care of that side. I'm gonna take care of this side. If you have a question, raise your hand. We're gonna go to you and then you shoot. So who's gonna be the first one? Oh, right over here, right next to me. Sir, what's your name? Where are you from?
Tracy Lamont in California.
Perfect.
Question is, how do you actually go ahead and research to find the talent that you find? What's that process? I mean, I know they would tell you, but how do they actually go and find these sort of talents?
So the way, sorry guys, it's my time to shine. So the way that it works for the creative studios and for corporate is they hold auditions all around the country, and then they go through a filing system. They all sit down and they pick and choose who they want. So in the creative studios, I like to call it the wall of talent. It's headshots of people from all over the world, and then they just pick and choose based on talent for singers, dancers, aerialists, etc., depending on the show that we need. Yeah.
And what is pretty cool is that back in the day, most of those auditions were held only in the United States, in Canada, in Australia. United States, Canada, Australia, and United Kingdom, right? But now that after the pandemic, Zoom started and then they do auditions via Zoom, I've seen on cast people like with this cast we have somebody from Mexico. On the previous cast, I've been able the 2 casts ago here in the Spirit, a dancer from the Philippines, a dancer from India. So now it's there's more nationalities taking part on the production. So that is great. And I believe Jess has a question over there.
For the dancers and the singers, what specifically were the auditions like for you?
So for me specifically, I went to an audition in Ohio, and before I did the audition, there was like a cut that they made through a video submission. So I had to send in like a dance reel, which is where you put like all your videos of short clips of dance you've done throughout your years. And then I had to send in my resume and headshot, and then from there, they like cut people to go to the audition. And then when I went to the audition, we learned one dance combination. It was like an upbeat jazz one, and they cut people after that. And then they did a contemporary audition after that with like a smaller group. And they did like 3 people at a time or 2 people at a time. And then after that, we didn't know anything. They just said that we'd be hearing back or we wouldn't. It just depends. And that's when they, at that specific audition, they were looking for people for a specific ship and like a specific cast member. So then like, I think I heard back like a month later about the gem when I first did that one last year. And then for this one, once you're kind of like in their like database, if they want you for a specific ship again, or if you want a specific itinerary, you can kind of email back and see if you can get what you were looking for.
And one of the things that was said before that's really great is that they also have online submissions as well. So I was actually under contract down in Key West, Florida, doing Escape from Margaritaville. And one great thing that you could find these audition submissions is through like Playbill, Backstage, Actors Access, and all these different websites where you can get these audition opportunities. And I came across it on Playbill, so I submitted through Playbill, and then a week later, they sent me callback material. I recorded that, literally moved all the furniture out of the space so I could do the dance combo that they had. And then literally a week and a half later, they told me, that if you pass medical, which is a very long process, this would be the ship that you'd be on, and this is what your role would be. So.
Thank you, Jordan. I have another question over here to your right.
Lynn from Wisconsin.
린이네.
We were on the Spirit in October, so this is kind of a little bit for Jerry, but the 2 main singers were engaged. So I have a 2-part question. Do you usually meet sometimes your spouse on the ship? And if you do, or do you ever hire people as a couple that are married, or do you keep if they continue as a couple, do you place them together with the same contract?
I'll answer that one, guys. It's okay. So the answer is yes. People do meet people on a ship. It's just the nature of it. Sometimes you meet people at work and it just happens out. It works out that way. So the way that it works and what they tell us in Tampa is they want us to be happy, and by all means, if you find the love of your life on a ship, cool, thumbs up for you, yay for love. We have a thing called MAPS IDs, which is basically our crew member ID in the database of Norwegian Cruise Line. So you can actually link MAP IDs, which means wherever, let's just say, me and Cooper are together, hypothetically speaking. Wherever I go, Cooper comes with me, and wherever Cooper goes, I go with him. But since I'm a manager and I get my own cabin, I still get my own cabin, and he has to go in his own cabin as well. If you're entitled to a cabin, you get your own cabin. What was the rest of your question? I'm so sorry. Did that answer it, or do you want more information? Yes, because if we break up on a contract, I can't really go anywhere. You're stuck for 6 months because a contract's a contract. Yeah. Sorry.
I know that some of the Oceania ships, which are a lot of the 6-person cast, there was a couple that met on my last contract, and they got married just a couple months ago. And the smaller ships I don't know why, but they tend to have, it's like 6 people and there's 3 married couples. That's quite common, so that's how the married couples stay together. Yeah, they do encourage, encourage it, I don't know, but support it, yeah.
Thank you very much. We have a question over there to your left with Janice.
My name's Dee. I live in Panama right now. And I was wondering, when you're new, do they give you a roommate? Do you have any choice?
No, and yes.
It depends on what type of rank you are. So I'll explain. So right now the dancers, they're entitled to a roommate. But Jordan isn't entitled to a roommate. So Jordan is a first year freshman, new contract, new hire, everything new. Because he's a production singer, he gets his own cabin. But if you're a dancer and you're brand new, you have a roommate. It's just the way that the entitlement works. Yeah. Do you have a choice? When we're in Tampa, the dancers, they get to pick who they want to live with, but they have to live with somebody. If we get to come here and they don't have a roommate for like the first couple of months, that's really great and it's very rare, but they will get a roommate because they're in a double occupancy cabin. So it doesn't last for long, but they hold on to that living alone, but they do get a roommate in the end, yeah.
Thank you, Joe. And also that changes from ship to ship. Actually, the newer ships, the companies, not just NCL, but all the companies, they've realized that the crew members, they rather have a small space, but their own space. So they've done some kind of rooms that they call Jack and Jill's, which is like a tiny room. It's like the size of Harry Potter's closet. Then it has a door to a bathroom, but there's a double door. So then 2 people, like they get their own space, but they share the bathroom. Now the bathrooms are super small, but they're very efficient when it comes to time, because you can be sitting on the toilet, taking a shower and brushing your teeth at the same time. They're pretty cool. They're pretty cool. All right, I have another question right over here, I believe. Yes.
We as the customers here, have a very sort of relaxed holiday. I'm just wondering what sort of a day the performers have, what their day consists of.
They rest all day. No, I'm joking.
Our normal day is pretty chill. We do get to enjoy cruising a lot more than a lot of the other departments get to. So we're really lucky in that sense. But we still do, hit the gym, do all those type of things. But and we have some other side duties that we do, like seeing us on the gangway when we're doing tendering or stuff like that. So yeah, pretty chill.
Dance classes as well. They do dance classes. They do some of the duties. On other ships, actually, they become librarians. Because when the ships that have a library, they're the ones managing the library. What else do they do?
So on a typical show day, they have a 2-hour tech rehearsal, and then they have a break, and then they dance for both shows. So on show days, they're pretty much busy, but on port days, they pretty much get a day off other than doing door duties. So if you see sometimes for guest entertainment, they do door duties. Like he said, library, tendering, they also have safety duties. So if you were at Paxdro, you'll see them at your muster stations.
이것저것
And then
하는구나.
obviously then we do entertainment Q&As, and sometimes they help out with selling GE merch as well.
Thank you, Joe. We have a question over there to your right.
그렇구나.
Ryan from California. So 2-part question. One is, do the contracts include retirement and benefits such as that? And then second, is there any mentoring, formal or informal, from corporate regarding planning for when you're a broken down 30-year-old, what happens next? Like being on a horse ship.
The quick answer to that is no. We're registered in Bahamas, so I believe that doesn't really, those rules that you would normally get in the United States when you get hired, they don't really apply for ships. Anything you'd like to add on that?
I'm just gonna go with Jerry's simple answer. It's a no. That's all I have.
Yeah.
It's a no. We don't get any retirement or anything like that. But Jordan has something to say.
I think Jordan has a special contract. Tell us, Jordan.
Even though this is my first contract, what I have seen is that they do like to hire people within the NCL family and have them work up into the company. They like doing that. So if you started off as a dancer, they might have you move up to like a higher position, production team or casting, that kind of stuff. That's what I've seen.
Thank you, Jordan. Right over here. Oh, thank you, Jens.
Hi, I'm Lynn from Michigan, and sometimes it's hard for us as guests to walk around the ship because it's wobbly or we get seasick. So I was wondering, how do you dance when the ship is moving, especially like today? And then is there any time when people don't get used to it and they have to leave because they don't get used to the ship?
So I actually find it easier to dance and move faster than walking on the ship, because I notice it more when we're moving, when I'm just like walking around the ship, whereas when I'm on stage dancing, I don't really notice it at all, unless it's like a really rocky night, which in that case, sometimes we'll have to make a couple of changes in our show, like if we're like standing on top of something, like we might not get on it, just for like safety precautions and things like that.
Yeah, it was definitely an adjustment. I specifically remember opening of Blazing Boots when we were doing Country Girls Shake For Me. There's a part where I take my bandana and I like whip it forward and then whip it back, and I was like going all out for it, and then when I whipped it back, I literally fell because the ship was moving so much. And I don't know if you guys remember the one show, World Beat, the Twinkling section, where we're hopping over those sticks. It's not fun. It's scary. It's really scary, actually. Yeah, no, still getting used to it, but yeah, it's weird. It's weird.
So to add on that one, like the way it works, if we are expecting some swells or we know that the ship's going to be moving a lot, the first thing that we do, I call the bridge, I speak to the captain or the officers, I ask them, hey, is there any way that we can slow down or deviate and not affect the itinerary, of course, and make it a little bit easier for the performers on stage. So that's the first step. Now, if there's nothing to do about it, then Joe, myself, and the dance captain would have a little meeting, say like, all right, so is it safe to do it? And then they could say like, all right, yes, but we need to do our replug. Maybe the girls will not be wearing high heels, they will be on flats. As Madison mentioned, probably they need to go on the hydro or they need to be dancing on top of a chair. Those things get reblocked. And then if it is actually really, really bad, and the last thing that we want to do, but of course their safety is always our main priority, we'd go ahead and reschedule the show. We'll try not to cancel it, but if we have enough time, we'll move things around. So let's say if we have a night that is going to be a comedian, we would probably try to get the comedian that night to cover that night, and then we would move the show to the other night. Now, probably you've been on a lot of ships, probably you've been in the situation that a show gets cancelled. Now, I know a lot of people get upset, I completely understand it, but we do it not because we don't want to do the show, but we do it because we're taking care of the people that are on stage. As I told you, the dancers, the singers, sometimes maybe if they hurt their knee or maybe ankle sprain, something like that, that could end their career. And honestly, I would rather go on stage, like imagine you're all sitting in the theater, I would much rather go on stage, explain to you the situation. I know that 80% or 90% of the people will understand it, but maybe there's going to be 10% that will boo me, and honestly, I would rather have the whole theater booing at me for canceling a show, that then later on have to call somebody's parents and say like, hey, your kid got injured. So actually, that was one of the reasons why I left one of the companies I was in, because the general manager pushed me to do a show that it was not safe to do. I said no, canceled the show, and then I was on the next flight home. But because I wanted to. But yeah, so I would never put their safety at risk for a show. So I hope that if one day you're not going to think that something that happens, put yourselves on their shoes or think as if they were kids, what would you do for them? All right? Any other question? Oh yes, over here. Chance will take care of them, and I'll take care of the ones over the top.
Hi, I'm Kelly from Michigan. I was curious, do you use the crew areas or the passenger areas for things like dining, working out, pools, and what about shore excursions? Do you have separate shore excursions, or do you get to go with the passengers? And I hope you don't have to pay for that. I was wondering about that.
We we are very privileged to be able to use both. Due to, lunchtime and the capacity of the guests, there are limited times we try and go when it's not as busy. But, we are allowed to come here and order a drink and listen to our fellow musicians. The show band that you see in Blazing Boots is also the band, they'll play up here sometimes, so, we'll come listen to our friends. The shore, I'm not up to date on that one. We used to be able to book either as a full paying person or as what they call a guide, but that's pre-pandemic. Now I don't think they allow us to do it, but most of us don't actually book shore excursions anyways, mostly because we're here for 6 months. We have the opportunity to go each cruise to these types of things, and so we'll sort of, I wouldn't call it a shore excursion, but we'll get together with a big group and do it. I think last time a bunch of us were all out in Sydney together as a big group, and we share cab rides, and that's how we do it. But yeah, you'll often see us around the ship, and we're quite friendly, so when you see us, say hi.
Thank you, Simone. We have another question over here at the back.
Yeah, I'm Dale from California. My question is, this ship is a little bit different than a lot of other ships. This one has a theater in the back of the ship. Is that better for you as a dancer than being in the front of the ship?
For example, I was with the Gem last time, so I'm used to the theater being in the front. Whereas, in here, I feel like we rock more, in the front. So I think it's easier for us to be in the back of the ship because it's a little bit steadier. It feels like it's like a really rocky night.
그렇구나.
Thank you, Madison. You have another question over here at the back.
Hi, Bob from Illinois. For the dancers, at the end of a contract, assuming they're doing a good job,
역시 G가 공연자들도 편하다고 하네.
new audition process,
그렇죠?
just a little bit better known, or is it, you get it if you want it?
Most of the time we get offered a new contract before the end of our contract, but we don't have a choice. We do have to leave at the end of the contract, but we can get extended. I think the maximum amount of weeks is a month that we can be extended, but we do go to another ship.
There you go. And I believe we're going to go to our final question over there by the bar with Jens.
Hi, Barb from Vancouver, Canada. I'm just interested in your medical coverage. So when you're on the boat, I'm assuming it must be completely provided as part of the contract. But then also, I guess for Jared, when you said 4 months on, 2 months off, what happens in the 2 months off? Do you have to, is there any continued medical coverage, or do you have to provide it yourself?
So me, I just bubble wrap myself, and I try not to get in trouble those 2 months because I cannot afford the Obamacare. No. So I have my back home. I pay my own insurance, but also me as an officer, I didn't know this, but they enrolled me with a company called Cigna that I have medical coverage. So wherever I'm in the world, if something was to happen to me, I actually didn't know. I fractured a couple of ribs a couple of years ago, and I paid it out of my own pocket, but then I realized that I was enrolled in that. So I just pay out of my pocket, and then I submit it, and then they pay me back. I've never used it. I hope I don't have to use it. But when I'm on board, I'm fully covered by the company. If something happens to me, I go to the medical center. If they can help me there, they help me there. If they need to refer me to a hospital or a doctor, the shore side, that's the way we would go, and the company would pay for me for that. And I believe that's the way it works with you guys, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you'd like to add on that? No? Good? That's the way it works. And I believe that's the end of this little talk. Did you enjoy it? Ladies and gentlemen, even a big round of applause for you, Madison, Cooper.
알아듣는 건 거의 없지만 잘못 알아듣는 것도 있지만 그래도 조금 정보를 얻어갑니다.
When it comes to entertainment, we have 3 production shows, right? We have Blazing Boots, we have World Beat, and we have Elements that I highly encourage you to watch tomorrow. And the company has done some concept shows, but the Spirit, we have 3 shows still. I was just on the Prima, the newest ship in the world, well not in the world, in the company, and they have 1 show, and it's the newest one. And over here, the Spirit, maybe the oldest ship in the fleet, we have 3 amazing productions and a cabaret, so you are very spoiled over here, we're also very spoiled over here. Remember, tomorrow, Elements, a show not to be missed. It's who has watched Elements before? You will not let me lie. It's an amazing production, Cirque du Soleil style. It's
많이
featuring
봤죠? 저를
the dancers, the singers, also featuring Javi Cruz and Anaí, the illusionist, and featuring Vlad and Anna, the acrobats. How many people do we need to run that show behind the scenes, Joe?
Or is this including the booth?
Including the booth, overhires, everybody that takes part on it, the firefighter, everyone.
Yeah, so it's me, a lighting tech, audio tech, technical supervisors, Simone, 2 dressers, 2 stage techs, automation, and a helper.
So it's a lot of people on stage, a lot of people behind the scenes. Do not miss the show. There's going to be 2 shows, so there's more than enough space for everybody to watch it. But still, I encourage you to get there early. It's going to be 7 to 9. Doors will open 30 minutes prior to the show. But you want to be there early. You want to be on a nice seat, enjoying a drink, because it's a show that you will never forget. But folks, once again, thanks so much for joining us, and give it up for this amazing team. And we will see you around the stage. There's Star Wars trivia coming up next downstairs on the atrium. There's a lot of dancing. Who's teaching dancing today? We have Ivan at 3 o'clock doing merengue, then Griffin at 1 o'clock doing jazz. I believe Ariel already did a class at 9. So
오늘은 컵 트리비아에 왔습니다.
Okay, Vietnam, China, no. So number 1, India. Number 2, Thailand. Number 3, Vietnam. Vietnam, and number 4, the 4th place is Pakistan. If you got all those 4, that's 2 points. If you got 2, that's 1. Not bad.
이 트리비아는 그 문자도 안 나오고 다 들어야 되기 때문에 저한테는 매우 어렵지만 옆에 이제 미국 친구들이 알려주고 있습니다. 천천히 알려주고 적어주고.
What body of water does Egypt, Israel, and Saudi Arabia all share? Red Sea.
Red Sea, 홍해. 그렇죠, 홍해. 시나이 반도 쪽에 이스라엘, 이집트, 사우디아라비아가 같이 있습니다. 근데 거기를 해안 같은 바다를 되게 조그만한데 3 나라가 나누고 있어요.
How many years did the New York's first subway system take to get?
얼마나 만들었을까요?
Too many years.
10년? 10년?
That's too long. 12, no. 2, too short.
1 year? 1 year?
No. 8, 4 years.
4 years. 4년 만에 만들었군요. 뉴욕 지하철, 첫 번째 지하철을.
Okay. Question number 4. Actually, I tried to ask Mr. Google and also Mrs. Google, and there's like a different answer because I'm also like not really sure. But mainly, I got this answer like 80%. Okay. Number 4. Who is the godfather of boxing?
Boxing. 로키 마르시아노?
I told you, it's not my person, but it's a box.
왜 알리라고 얘기했는데. Of course. Yeah.
See, you're all like really engaged. Okay, well, now let's move on. Let's not forget about it. Number 5. Okay, this is very interesting. Let's see how many is your answer. How many kinds of kisses are described in the book of the Kama Sutra?
이거는 우리 젤리 전문 영역입니다.
9. No. 6. No. What's that, sir? I think something else. Okay. Well, you wouldn't believe it, but it's actually 20 different kinds of kisses. 20.
21.
20. I'm wondering. I wonder what type of kiss are those 20 kisses?
No, they're
Well, no, it's like friendship kiss is like, it's a different, it depends on the feelings maybe.
I know 20.
Yeah, okay, I don't want to go any further. Okay, let's go on. Okay, where am I? Number 6. Give all the names of your crew staff on board. Kiko, Earl, Ada, and Jans. Jennifer's, Orlando. Who are they?
크루즈에 일하는 크루들 이름 4명을 대라고 했습니다.
Earl, Jans, and Ayla. 4. Ayla. Earl, Kiko, Jans, and Ayla. Oh, okay. You can have it in any order. If you got 4, you got 2 points. If you got 2, that's 1 point. Crew staff. Crew staff. Crew staff. That's our title job.
그렇구나.
Now you know. Crew staff, not crew.
not crew.
Crew is like general. Crew staff. Okay. If you got 4, that's 2 points. If you got 2, that's 1 point. Okay, now let's go to the next question. Number 7. In a darts game, how much is the outer green bullseye worth? 25. Got it. 25.
다트는 해봤지만 몇 점인지 몰라요.
Number 8. The Statue of Liberty was given to the U.S. by what country?
France. 이거는 쉬운 문제였습니다. 예. 자유의 신상은 프랑스에서 줬죠.
Number 9. Who wrote the song I Will Always Love You?
Whitney Houston.
Dolly Parton. Wrote by Dolly Parton in 1973 and recorded by Whitney Houston in 1992. 1992.
그렇죠. 저희는 휘트니 스톤 알고 있죠.
I'm gonna get this all over this. Number 10. What alcoholic drink was banned in France in
1915년에부터 시작한.
Is it pronounced abstain? Abstain. Abstain. Okay, if you got that, give it a check.
뭔지 모르겠습니다.
Abstain.
업친이 뭔지 모르겠어요.
I don't know, maybe it's a combination of all type of alcoholic drink. That's why it can cause madness.
Sandy, you need to order that.
Number 11. What is the official state sport of Alaska?
Dog sledding.
Correct.
그거는 알고 있죠. Dog sledding.
It's a sled pulled by one or more dogs. Or mushing. Number 12. What was the most popular toy of 1980s?
플라이 모빌이었나?
Correct.
야.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
양배추 인형.
Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah, I know. 양배추 인형이 제일 유명했군요 그때. 생각도 못했습니다.
Sure. General.
토이.
Alright. Well, anyway, that's what the Google said. I'm just doing my job here. Come on, let's move on. Okay, number 13.
Yeah.
What number is considered unlucky for Chinese and Korean culture?
4.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Yeah.
Because
Korea.
as I read it sounds like that.
Yeah.
So I think this is
correct. 드디어 한국에 대한
Number 14.
누나.
How many valves does a modern trumpet have? 3. 3. Got it.
네, 열심히 많이 맞췄을 것 같아요.
Expensive spice. Saffron. Why?
사포.
Why? Why is it very expensive?
Because you can only pick the pistol, it's very small.
Very small and it's really hard to get. Yeah. No wonder. Yeah. Okay. Number 16. What is the name of the smallest planet in our solar system? Mercury. Largest is the Jupiter.
Yes.
머큐리가 제일.
Okay. Now number 17. What does tiramisu mean?
Pick me.
Pick me up. Pick me up. Before you go to pick me up. That's what we got.
예, 이거는 알고 있었어요. 저번에 트리비아 때 나왔죠?
What is the main ingredient for pesto? Basil.
이거는 많이 알고 있습니다. 저는 모르겠지만 페스토라고 이탈리아 소스랍니다.
19. What was the first planet seen or discovered in the telescope?
Mars.
No. Who said Uranus? Got it right. Uranus. Okay, Uranus. Last and final question. Who is the performer?
제가 이제 마르스라고 얘기했다 틀렸습니다.
He's a famous guy. John Milligan. Alright.
존 밀리건 해서 끝났습니다. 네, 친구들 도움으로 그래도 이해를 하면서 게임에 참여할 수 있었습니다.
We have to move back so people. Okay. Stand. Oh no, not that. You just put behind your back. Okay, lemon. Now this lemon has been soaking in this bucket of ice for 2 weeks. So whatever you have there, good luck. Okay, you ready? The front, okay. Audience, are you ready? Yeah. Okay, the count of 3. Let's do this. 1, 2, 3, go. I knew that I would not. No. Thank you. The time is
13 seconds.
13 seconds.
잘했네요.
There's nothing much in the bridge. Yeah, because they didn't count your traffic, right? Okay, moving on to couple number 3. Since you are very short, what we're going to do, we're gonna do it 4 times. You go 1. 4 times?
Yeah.
You signed up for this. Right? Because,
짧은 바지라.
This is a short and this is a pants, right? So, this is 1, 2,
3, 4.
so how many times?
4 times.
See? I went to college and I
짧은 바지가 유리한 게 아니네요.
Okay, so 4 times. Okay. 4 times. Ready. So the time to beat is how many? 13 seconds. Are you want with it to back? You're nasty. Okay, count to 3. 1, 2. Wait, did I say go? 1, 2, 3, go. That's 1. Ouch. That's 2. That's 3. And that's 4. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Here the time is
14 seconds.
14 seconds. Just for 1 second. Okay. We always save the best for last.
또 짧은 바지 나왔습니다.
Okay, nice. Okay, have a seat, sweetheart. Okay. Okay, it's okay. Okay, now we have lemon. Lemon? Oh, we don't have lemon?
Oh, no.
Joey, stop.
Because we used the one for the demonstration and you told us to get 3.
Okay, do we have any extra food to use? No. We have to be fair to everyone, right? So if they done it 4, you have to do it 4 times. You signed up for this. I tried it and it worked. Wow. You are sweet. There will be a space. There is. I think we have the whole week for this, so it's okay. Take your time. Or maybe you remove your short. No. No. We have lemon. We do it 4 times. But seriously, guys, are you just met or you've been married dating? Oh, 24 years, bless you. Okay, ready? 4 times. So the time to meet is 13 seconds. 13 seconds. The time to meet is 13 seconds. The count of 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, go. That's
느려. 슬로우.
That's 2. That's 3. And 4. Wait a minute. So here, what the time is?
19 seconds!
19 seconds. So the winner for our first round is none other than couple number 2. Okay, now we're going to move on to the next one. We call this ball in a hole. Okay, gentlemen, you follow Earl's lead. And ladies, you have to follow my lead. Okay? Ladies, you follow my lead, okay? Earl, thank you very much. Okay, now, ladies, you will be handed out a stick. Gentlemen, you put that tissue.
Bagel?
My goodness.
Tissue.
It's like a rolling
rolling tissue.
Call the medical team.
Throw it.
It's like archery. You go to 1. If it doesn't go, you go 2. And it doesn't go in, it's 3.
Wait a second, are you going to be paying for the damage?
You signed up for this. Okay.
See? She's American. Lawsuit right away.
You will put this in between your legs. You can hold and you walk. Turn around. No, you put it that way. Fall in a hole. Perfect couple. Okay, you just have to put this in between, inside the hole. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is Earl's first week on the board, and this is this is his first job in the cruise line. So in order for him to continue his contract, he has to pass this test. Okay, so it's up to you guys. Later on, let's see if he can finish his contract. Right, Earl? Oh, give us your move. 5, 6, 7, 8. DJ, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nothing. Same thing. Okay. Now it will be so. Excuse me. Yeah, I know. Okay. Ladies, it's too easy for you is because you're just gonna hold the stick and walk, right? So what we're going to do, we're going to blindfold the ladies.
Oh no.
That is why you will be given a microphone. So that, gentlemen, you use that
안대를 끼고 한다고?
to give
우와.
direction to your other half. You go left, right, forward, up, push, or pull. Okay, now we start with couple number 1. Come on down, couple number 1. Ella will ask you to from here. Huh?
How am I supposed to?
You can handle it up. Yes, yes. Okay. What's your name again, sir?
James.
James. And what do you do?
신발을 입고 있기 때문에
What do you do back home?
아 저렇게 한다고?
Retired law enforcement.
Do you work in immigration? Ah, crime scene, then we're safe. Okay. Especially you, Earl. Okay. Yeah. How about you, sweetie? What do you do back home?
I'm a retired journalist.
Journalist, very nice. Okay.
journalist.
And yeah, detective. Okay. Put it in your. It's too tight. The hole is closing. Just be gentle. I'm like, oh! Wrong game show. Okay. That means if you know, just get her eyeglass. There you are. Okay. Okay. Now we have to. Okay, ready? Okay. We need to spin you a little. Okay. And when you're ready,
Go straight, real now, real fast.
wait, did I say go? Let's go again. It's too tight. There you are. And you're ready. So now go!
Straight ahead, slide it to your left, straight ahead, down a little, down, to your right,
You're not allowed to hold.
to your right.
Your other right.
To your right,
Don't move.
There you go, that's the leg, that's it. Now, there you go, now, push.
Let's go. Okay. Okay. How many minutes? 21 seconds. Congratulations. Okay. Moving on. Congratulations, couple number 3. Okay. Couple number 3. Okay, here you are, dear. And how about you, ma'am? What do you do back home?
I'm a dialysis.
Oh, dialysis nurse. Okay. It's okay. And the blindfold? Okay. The blindfold. Okay. And how about you, sir? What do you do back home?
Support on the minus and the bulls.
For what?
Minus and the bulls.
Ah, okay. I don't understand. That's okay. Okay.
I don't understand what you said. Rhinos and the bulls, what's that? Yeah.
And charge! Yeah.
Right. Coming down a little.
You're explosive.
Down. That's the part.
Okay. Push! Push it! No, wait. Move back. Okay. Okay.
What? Oh, the drawing now? You want to take my ticket?
Go back.
Oh, I didn't bring it.
Let's go far.
Go. I thought I brought it.
Go back.
I didn't bring the ticket.
Go straight.
Okay.
Spanish. It is okay. It's Spanish. Dale derecha.
No, esto de...
Yeah, push. She's having fun. No, goodness. Now I understand. Okay. Okay, we have to finish the game. Let's go. Wait. Put it back. Okay. Okay. I'm not in control. You listen, Linda. Listen. Okay. Why you like to do that? Oh, we're not done. Okay. One more. Okay, 1, 2. Wait. I'm helping! But you're holding the stick too hard! And it's because I try to control it, she's holding... Wait, we're not done yet. We're not finished yet. We have the whole day. Okay, let me help you move. Okay, wait, 5. Okay, 1, 2, 3, let's go. I cannot see the hole. I cannot see the hole. Ready? Okay, the time is forever. Okay, time is 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Okay, moving on to our final couple number 2. Come up, please. Thank you very much. Okay, here you are. And how about you, ma'am? What do you do back home?
I work for Head Start, preschool.
Oh, preschool.
Awesome.
Okay, how about you, sir? What do you do back home?
Civil engineer. Civil engineer.
Civil engineer. Okay, he's civil engineer. Get ready?
Yes.
Okay. Ready? I will have to speak her first. Yes, there you are. Okay.
Oh, girl.
Ready? Oh, no. And go.
Okay, go straight. Turn a little bit left. Your left. Keep turning a little bit left. Straight.
Oh, just pay attention.
Straight.
No, don't move.
Back.
Don't move. Now it's close.
Back.
Relax. Let it go.
Lift up a little bit. To your left. Up a little bit. Down a little bit. Up a little bit. Okay. Down a little bit. To your left a little bit. Okay, up just a hair. Right. Slowly go forward. Slowly. Go forward. Your turn.
Because, wait, because the ball is...
No, give it back.
Fine. Turn on the lights. Everyone, goodbye, everyone. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Left.
Oh, you don't need help, okay.
Okay, go forward a little bit higher. Right there, go.
Okay, thank you very much. You're disqualified. Have a seat. Thank you very much. The time is 1 minute and 17 seconds. Okay, but sorry. The winner for this round is couple number 1. Okay. Now, we're going to go to our final one, ladies and gentlemen. We call this balloon relay. But there are 3 ways to do this challenge, okay? First, gentlemen, you're going to have, ladies, you will be handing out the balloons. Okay, all you have to do is put the balloon in between your legs. The first one is you go to the front, walk, not to the front, but you see this round thing over here. Stand here, put the balloon in between your belly button, hold each other, and you pop. It's okay, you can touch. You can touch. You pop the balloon. Okay, that's the first one. But ladies, make sure that please do not use your nails or your wig to pop the balloon. Okay, that's the first one. Now, the second one is treat me like king. Gentlemen, you're going to sit on that chair with your hands on the side, legs together, and then you will put the balloon in between your legs. Ladies, you walk, 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 you walk. Then you put your balloon in between the legs. There are two ways. You go, then how it go first? How do you like it go first? You do it this way, okay, and then you did this job, right? Okay, and then you do it this way. Not yet? Okay. Yes, you're gonna pop it. You want to pop it, sir? This is how you do it. Let's go.
Okay.
DJ the music. Oh yeah. Okay, it's okay, Earl. It's okay, Earl. It's okay. Initiation? Yeah, initiation. Okay. The next one, the final one. You hold the balloon, you put it in between your legs. You walk. As we practiced last night, Earl.
Oh, stop.
Turn around. Bend over.
There's only you in my life.
Then you walk.
The only
Then you walk. Then you walk. And then you walk, and then you ready? I have to demonstrate. And you. It's okay. Okay. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's all give a round of applause for Earl for doing a great job. So, by your applause, do you think that we can keep Earl for the rest of the month for his contract? Let's keep him and fire Ada. Okay. Now, we're gonna. Who's doing it again for the first? Yeah. So if we have a problem, what do you call this? Bursting the balloon, we can use something. Which never mind. Okay. Something's okay. Start with couple number. I've lost it there. What? Couple number 1. Who? Sorry, what? Okay. I'm scared of couple. I might lose my job with couple number 2. I don't want to start it. Oh, couple number 3. Okay, because it's.
What? We did?
You know what? I'm just hosting this game show actually, right? Okay, here you are. The first one, you put in between, halfway, treat me like a king, and revenge. Okay? Okay. Ready? Gentlemen, just be nice to your other half. Make sure you hold the wrist because safety is always our first priority. Yeah? Okay, the count is 3. 1, 2, 3, go! Put it in between. Ay! Okay, don't sit. Here you are. There you put it in between your legs. Hands on the side. Yeah. Revenge. Turn around, stand up, turn around. You have to put it in between your legs. Yeah, okay, bend over. Push! One, two, three, push! Harder! You got it! Okay, it's over. The time.
1 minute 15 seconds.
1 minute and 15 seconds. Okay, couple number, let's go, couple number 1. Couple number 1. Okay, here's your balloon. Stay here. Okay. No, you have to stand. Meet halfway, then treat me like a king, and the last one is revenge. Okay. Okay. Yeah, it's okay. You can. There you are. Okay. Ooh, baby, do you know that that hurts? Okay, the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go! Push! Okay, one more. Legs together, legs together. Legs together. Legs together. Revenge, revenge. Revenge, revenge. Revenge, revenge. 1, 2, push! Ah! Come on, baby. Hit me, baby, one more time. And push! Okay. I'm here. Okay. And the time is?
44 seconds!
44 seconds. Okay. Now we're down to our couple number 2. Here you are, ma'am. Same rules apply. Okay, I will. Here you are. Same. Meet halfway. Treat me like king and then revenge.
이 게임쇼에 참가하면은 참가자들 모두에게 좋은 선물을 줍니다. 그래서 참가하는 것도 좋아요.
Okay, couple number 1, couple number 2, and couple number 3. This is couple number 2. Go! And okay, let's do this, let's do this. Okay. Bend over. There you are. Yeah, baby. Oh. And push. Oh. Push. I love my job. Okay. Time is?
Also 44 seconds!
44 seconds. Now, first and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, before we announce the winner, let's all give a round of applause for our team. Wonderful couple.
재밌게 진행됐습니다.
This game show will be receiving a bottle of Kukuli shampoo. Shampoo for us, shampoo. A bottle of
샴페인 주네요.
champagne. Of course, the winner, we have a winner. The winner for our perfect couple for this evening is none other than couple number 1. Couple number 1. Thank you very much. But, ladies and gentlemen, here on board the Spiritho로 Wicked Spirit, everyone is a winner, so everyone will be getting a bottle.
모두에게 주죠. 그렇죠. 보통 퍼펙트 게임 쇼는 이렇게 좋은 걸 다 줍니다. 재밌는 게임이었습니다.
So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of your cruise director,